What I want to on this video and to say on this video that I don't think is out there anywhere else on YouTube, certainly not very common, is a lot of different people talk about what's an alpha and what's a beta. And everybody seems to start out with, okay, the animal kingdom. We got, whether it's wolves or elk or whatever, you've got an alpha male and beta males. Clearly, it's a survival strategy that nature has developed through evolution and adaptation, and it works for a reason. Okay. So then when you go to humans, obviously things get a little bit more complicated. So we're not in line with nature the way animals are. We do our own thing. We've got this consciousness plus technology, and it's haywiring a lot of stuff. So alphas and betas. I don't. Everybody's kind of like, oh, alphas are better than betas. It seems like betas are going, how can I act more alpha? And alphas seem to be kind of going like, oh, that's so beta. Okay. But I just want to put out, this is the new stuff, the stuff I don't think is out there. If you took the average beta or the average alpha, I like the average beta better. Okay. Most alphas, just because you're alpha doesn't mean you have a high IQ.
Okay.
Or that you're logical. Or that you give a flying fuck about ethics.
Very good, yeah.
Most alphas are assholes.
Okay.
Okay? Like, they're rare.
Okay.
People say 20%. I say it's more like 10. That's just based on my life
10%
experience.
of what?
Men qualify as very alpha.
Okay.
In all components of their life.
Okay.
Meaning you can have somebody who's a CEO and head shit at his company, but he goes home and he's very beta to his wife. Right. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm talking about a mindset that permeates all components of your daily living.
Okay.
Most alphas are assholes.
Okay.
Most alphas don't have a high IQ. So alpha plus low or middle IQ even can be dangerous.
Oh, agreed.
The people who commit crimes, largely in part alphas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. They join the cops. They join the military.
Yep.
They are the illegal gangbanging top dogs in crime and jails. So an alpha with bad steering or no rudder can be a horrible, horrible thing.
Okay.
Most judges, right?
Yeah.
Alphas can work real hard. They spend a lot of, especially if it's in an evil direction, boy, they can work real hard. Okay. They can get involved in not just dangerous dominance hierarchies, like, not that money is dangerous, but having $1 million isn't enough, having 10 million isn't enough, having 100 million isn't enough. Because once they have everything paid for, who cares? It's more like, well, I want to be in charge of every sphere of influence I come into contact with. I don't want to be coercible by anybody. Okay. I don't want to be jealous of anyone. I don't want. It becomes this twisted power type game, and
it gets to a
play
point,
this game.
And it gets to a point where they don't want to be plugged in or wired into any social groups at all, because if they're not in charge, they're going to withdraw from it.
That could be too. I mean, we're all kind of drawn to what we're good at and avoid what we're not.
But see, that's, I guess I'm trying to ask about. So an alpha is in a system, but wants that spot, wants that leadership spot.
Alphas climb. I should say an alpha on autopilot. Mm-hmm. If they are incapable of or display no ability to transcend their alpha programming, the flaws in it, they will climb as hard as they can.
And if that is destined to failure for some reason, they'll crash hard, withdraw, whatever. They won't be able to act in that sphere.
Could be. I mean, there's cycles that they could go through in recovery or whatnot.
Fair enough. But someone who has alpha tendencies or has a general alpha ability or mindset can choose to be in what would be kind of called a beta role in some sphere because it's an advantage to them.
Alphas can be willing to follow another alpha if they respect that alpha, knowing that they're on the path toward being that alpha as well.
Or there's just a high level of respect. I mean,
that's a rare thing. Alphas respect very few people like that.
But I think that's more intelligent than alphaness.
It could be.
I mean, again, it's I guess I'm trying to get my head around it because, okay, so if someone is intelligent, alpha, ethical, right? Mm-hmm. A trifecta of unlikeliness, but
you don't get something for nothing. They'll be suffering in some other category, but go ahead.
But they might, well, true. And they might find it's like, okay, I'm going to plug myself into this situation and I'm going to adapt to this group situation that I can't be the alpha of. and they can succeed in that. If they have capabilities, they can succeed in that.
Sure.
Now, okay, so
especially if it meets their, I like to have, well, like all humans have, I like to have purpose and meaning in my work.
fair enough.
If it checks that box, that really helps.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, as far as betas go, like, betas don't do nearly as much damage in the world. They're better neighbors. They're more stable.
Okay.
They can be more even-keeled. They're more negotiable. Now, obviously this is all spectrum, and within the beta side of the spectrum, there's strong betas and there's weak betas. You know, like a weak beta is just doesn't, for whatever reason, either through nature or nurture, the way their brains fired together and therefore wired together, they are not assertive. They're socially not confident. They're not taking a whole lot of risks. They're definitely not getting in fights or confrontations like that, even if the situation would normally warrant it for the average guy. They're not putting themselves first a lot. It's other people's come first before them. They won't do something like ask for a raise, ask a lot of women for a date. Betas can be dangerous in their followership if they are kind of lower functioning and don't have many standards for who the fuck they're following.
Yeah, you get a lot of passive aggressive
bullshit. You get a lot of mass, a lot of sheep are betas.
Yeah.
Betas, I mean the real, there's strong betas. I don't want to say just betas because then it makes me look like I'm down or insulting them, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say on average they're better than alphas for the record. Okay. But your weaker betas, I mean they certainly aren't into challenging authority. I mean, if authority works for them according to their standards of what works, even if it means giving away 28% of your paycheck to a bully and 25% next year and not giving a fuck, they'll do that. And because there's so many of them, that's where a lot of the power goes.
Gotcha. Probably a lot of virtue signaling and stuff like that going on.
Yeah. Weak betas have pussy at the top of their list, and they will bow down to pussy demands. And if pussy runs the world because of whatever reason, that's dangerous as fuck too, because they're the white knights, they're the male feminists, they're the SJW crowd in the parade going, you're a fascist, when the person they're yelling at has nothing to do with fascism or Nazism or anything like that. Yeah. They can be led by weak people. They can be led by stupid alphas.
They'll take their political party and just tattoo the positions on their arm.
Right.
Right.
Like an alpha in prison ain't shit without his betas. And because numbers are power. It's the same kind of concept. Okay. So, but, you know, you take the strong components of beta behavior and personality, I mean, you get something good. You get a good neighbor. You know, you get somebody you can trust who isn't going to commit any crimes against you. You get somebody who's not going to try and fuck your wife. You get decent family members, which is all that common, right? Okay. So that's just kind of what I wanted to put out there. Everybody seems to be like, oh, it's definitely better to be alpha. It's not good to be beta. And then you get a bunch of betas going, alphas suck. They just think you just got to be a jock. And look, even Brad Pitt can't keep a bitch, so it doesn't matter if you're alpha or not.
So it's like turn the testosterone way up to 11 and live your life just as a fucking berserker.
Yeah, that's what some of them keep saying over and over again, and it's not the case at all.
Fair enough.
And people also, they don't talk about downsides of being alpha or alpha behavior and how much bullshit in the world it's responsible for. Look, if people are selling $2,000 conference tickets and all kinds of t-shirts and mugs and please donate to me, obviously what they say is suspect. There's this part of this red man group that I cannot fucking stand. And they're basically selling all these tickets trying to convince betas that A, it's better to be alpha, and B, that you can turn yourself into an alpha. I have never seen this happen once. I've never seen, and I've been involved in military training, the most expensive kind, where they very much try to turn everybody into an alpha. I've never seen it. Yeah, you can just in your social interactions with men tell unless they're really somehow good and driven, both at hiding major components of their character, you can pretty much tell where on the alpha beta spectrum they lie.
Okay.
You just can.
Okay.
But these people trying to convince betas that you should turn into an alpha if you want hot pussy, and that you can, I think they're full of shit. Like, you can be a beta man, and I think keep a quality woman around, not have her cheating on you, if you are alpha with her. You don't have to be alpha with other men. You don't have to be alpha at your job. But if you know how to be alpha with her, you can
It's going to be tough for them.
fulfill her. Now, what you can't fulfill is if she's looking for a 6'4" guy with an 8-inch dick who's got 4% body fat. You're never going to be able to fill that. If that's an alpha validation itch she has to scratch, you picked the wrong one. She's fucked too many guys in her past, number one. But B, you're never, ever going to be that. But you can still fulfill a woman's hunger for alpha masculinity in her romantic partner.
Right.
By
Don't fail every shit test.
Don't fail shit test. Make her expendable. The one who needs the other the least has the power. And a man's natural state and a woman's natural state is for the man to be in power.
Okay.
Women are not happy if they're in power. Our hero Socrates even said, right? If a woman becomes a man's equal, she becomes his superior. She's not even your equal. If a guy believes a woman is his equal or superior, he's the weak kind of beta you don't want to be. And she will be looking for alpha dick at some point in time.
All right.
So, I mean, if someone said to you, hey, man, I'm beta, what do you mean talking about be alpha in your relationship? You know what I would do? I wouldn't start talking to him. I'd point to the masters. I'd be like, look, there's this guy named Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah.
And he was a MGTOW as fuck who had a girlfriend. Yep. Now, he wasn't MGTOW in all ways. Every once in a while, he would pull some bit, but nobody's going to be perft, so that's not the standard.
We've adjusted what Socrates said. We've adjusted what Nietzsche said. We adjusted what Immanuel Kant said.
Right.
All of these greats had a point that we've developed on.
But they're all human, and nobody's perfect. So So Patrice O'Neill was huge, and even Tom Likas, who's just kind of a funny dude, who puts it in a comical way. Yeah. Has a lot of the core truths that many of these MGTOW content creators that you think may be original really kind of aren't. No discredit to them. They had their own flavor, but really largely the bulk of what they're drawn from are those two men. Right. They were doing it in the early 2000s, even the late 90s. So I would point to that. It is very, very, very possible to be a beta on the outside and yet be alpha with a woman because she is not your equal. There's really not a competition there. And she wants you to do this.